Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Bill Spencer is in desperate need of a love interest, and his desperation seems to be clouding his judgment. Dollar Bill thought he found his soulmate in Poppy Nozawa, and we all know how that ended. Then he tried to reunite with Katie Logan and got shut down. Dollar Bill is on the prowl for a rebound, and Deacon Sharp might want to keep an eye on his wife. Here's what's coming up next on the CBS soap. Spoilers ahead. Bill Spencer and Sheila Carter have a complicated past on Bold and the Beautiful. At one point, Bill and Sheila were in love. But then Bill shocked everyone, especially Sheila, and announced that it was all a charade and he was just playing her and getting close to her so that he could help put her in prison. Obviously, Sheila isn't in prison now, and she's a free woman and married to Deacon Sharp. But things are definitely awkward when the two run into each other. B&B spoilers revealed that Sheila Carter was actually hurt by Bill's betrayal, which is crazy because the woman is literally heartless. But it was clear that Sheila had actually fallen for Bill and thought their romance was real. Despite Bill's insistence that it was all fake, a lot of viewers thought that Bill had actually developed real feelings for the villainess. Will he act on those feelings now that his ego is deflated and he has to go to bed alone every night? Sheila has always been loyal to her husband Deacon, but has she ever really had any other options? The men on B&B aren't exactly lining up at her doorstep. Do you think that Sheila will get caught up in her old feelings for Bill? Would she actually cheat on Deacon Sharp? The grandiose Spencer mansion stood bathed in the soft glow of a Californian sunset. Bill Spencer, known as Dollar Bill to many, swirled a glass of bourbon in his hand, staring out at the horizon. Despite his wealth, power, and seemingly endless confidence, an uncharacteristic emptiness had taken root within him. His once fiery romances were ashes now, and his usual swagger felt more like a defense mechanism than genuine bravado. He hadn't expected to feel lonely. Loneliness was for the weak, wasn't it? Yet here he was, in his fortress of luxury, with no one by his side. Katie had moved on. Brooke was entangled in yet another Logan Forrester drama. Even his sons, Liam and Wyatt, were busy building their own lives. It left him with time to think, to reflect, and to drink. Bill's solitude was interrupted by a knock at the door. Odd, he thought. He hadn't been expecting anyone. He opened it, and there stood Sheila Carter, her enigmatic smile both disarming and dangerous. Sheila. Bill greeted her, his voice a mix of surprise and wariness. To what do I owe this unexpected visit? Sheila stepped into the room with a confidence that rivaled his own. Her dark eyes sparkled with intrigue, and her air of mystery was impossible to ignore. I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop by, she said casually, though her tone carried an undercurrent of something deeper. You looked like you could use some company. Bill raised an eyebrow. Sheila Carter wasn't the type to do anything casually, but her timing was impeccable. The mansion's silence had been suffocating. You're bold, he said, smirking slightly as he closed the door behind her. But then again, I like bold. They moved to the living room, where Bill poured her a glass of wine. Sheila took it, her fingers brushing his for just a moment, enough to send a jolt of electricity between them. You know, Sheila, Bill said, leaning back on the couch, you've caused quite the stir in this town. Some would say you're nothing but trouble. Sheila chuckled, swirling the wine in her glass. And yet, here I am, in the lion's den. If anyone understands the power of a reputation, it's you, Dollar Bill. Their conversation was a tantalizing mix of flirtation and tension. Bill found himself intrigued by Sheila in a way he hadn't expected. She was dangerous, unpredictable, and completely unapologetic, qualities he couldn't help but admire. You're not as different from me as you think, Sheila said, her voice soft but cutting. You've built an empire, crushed your enemies, and done whatever it takes to stay on top. We're both survivors, Bill. He tilted his head, studying her. You're playing a dangerous game, Sheila. But then again, I've never been one to back down from a challenge. As the evening wore on, the line between their banter and genuine connection blurred. Bill, for all his bravado, found himself opening up to Sheila in ways he hadn't with anyone else in years. He told her about his fears of growing old alone, of being remembered only for his ruthlessness and not the man underneath. Sheila listened intently, her usual sharpness tempered by something almost resembling empathy. "You're not alone in that," she admitted, surprising even herself. "People like us, we burn bright, but that kind of fire doesn't always leave room for anyone else." There was a moment of silence, heavy with unspoken truths. Then Bill leaned forward, his blue eyes locked onto hers. "You're a fascinating woman, Sheila. Dangerous, yes, but fascinating." Sheila's lips curled into a sly smile. "And you're not half as cold-hearted as you pretend to be." Before either of them could overthink it, Bill closed the gap between them, capturing Sheila's lips in a bold, passionate kiss. The next morning, Bill woke to find the other side of his bed empty. He wasn't surprised. Sheila was too much of a lone wolf to linger. But as he sat up, he noticed a note on the nightstand. "Thanks for the company. Be careful, Bill. You're playing with fire, Sheila." He chuckled, running a hand through his hair. Sheila Carter was a force to be reckoned with, no doubt about it. But Bill Spencer wasn't one to shy away from a challenge. As he got ready for the day, Bill couldn't shake the feeling that his encounter with Sheila was only the beginning. Their chemistry was undeniable, but their mutual penchant for chaos could make them a dangerous combination. Word of their dalliance spread through the town like wildfire. Katie was horrified, Brooke was livid, and even Ridge had something to say about Bill's reckless behavior. "She's a menace, Bill," Katie exclaimed during a heated confrontation at Spencer Publications. "She's hurt so many people. What are you thinking?" Bill leaned back in his chair, his signature smirk in place. "I'm thinking that Sheila Carter is more than meets the eye. Maybe you should give her a chance." Katie stared at him, incredulous. "You can't be serious." But Bill was serious. For the first time in a long time, he felt alive. Sheila challenged him in ways no one else could, and he wasn't ready to let that go just yet. As the weeks went on, Bill and Sheila's relationship became the talk of the town. Some saw it as a disaster waiting to happen, while others couldn't look away from the spectacle. For Bill, it was a chance to break free from the monotony of his life. For Sheila, it was an opportunity to rewrite her story, though whether it would be for better or worse remained to be seen. One thing was certain: together, they were a force to be reckoned with. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, anything was possible.